Welcome back to Emma's Crafty Space. Thank you so much for joining me. In this tutorial, I'm still continuing on with the Poinsettia Place suite, which is still available in the current seasonal catalogue on page 14. It's an absolutely beautiful suite. The suite really does cover everything. You've got DSP, you've got a stamp and die bundle, you have ribbon, you have little pearl embellishments, and you have a lovely plush speciality paper in it as well. So it really is quite an extensive suite. This is a little project that I'm featuring in this tutorial today. Also, these little round tins are available in the current seasonal catalogue. They are on page 68 and they're actually really well priced. You get 4 tins for £11.25 and they're food safe as well. So with them being food safe, it means then that you can kind of make up any little snack or treats, especially coming up to Christmas, whenever shortbread and things like that are really nice to be gifting to people. So we'll make a wee start on the project. I already have my bits and pieces die cut, and I'll just set that to the side so you can just see that in the corner of the screen. So just open this little tin. Okay, so as I say, I already have my flowers in that cut. So these are cut out in real red, and it's using the die sizes that I have named myself, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So you need one of each of those. In these two you need 2 of these in Old Olive. This is just a circle that I'm going to use to layer my poinsettia up on. It is actually, I think, a retired size. It's 1 3/8. Any circle punch that you can hide behind this larger one once the flower is used up can be used. And then these little die cuts are out of the Plush Poinsettia Speciality paper. So that is these, and there's a die in it that cuts out certain shapes, so you can cut out the holly leaves, and there's some of these you can cut out, like that one there you can't, but that one there you can. So there's some of them that you can cut out with that die as well, so it's very handy. And then this is the largest circle die, and I am just going to set that in the bottom of my tin just to line it, just to make the inside a bit more interesting, because although they are food safe, if it was me, I'd still be putting whatever food product or item that I'm putting in there, I would still have it in a wee cellophane bag. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to curl the edges of our flower, and again just support the base of the flower. Okay, just keep going around. Now if you wanted to add a bit more depth to the poinsettia, you could get your real red ink and just dauber around the edges, and it would just kind of give that a little bit more depth around the edges and make it a bit more dramatic looking, maybe by adding that little bit of shading. But if you do real red on real red, you're still going to get a tone on tone of the same color of ink, and it'd just be really pretty. I'm going to curl this one the opposite way, just so the center stands out a wee bit more. Again, just be really careful, because obviously card will only go so far, and curl your leaves as well. Just make sure you're getting them in the right direction at the veins of the embossing parts going. Okay, so now we're going to start making up the flower, and I'm just going to glue mine together with Tombow wet glue. So where there's a space, put a petal. Okay, just hold that a wee second. Again here. And then the last one I'm going to put on with a mini dimensional, just to raise it and make it kind of really stand out from the rest of the flower. Okay. So once that's all stuck on together, you can kind of then go in and manipulate your flower and get the petals just to be a bit more 3D. Although if you're happy with it being flat, then obviously don't do this part. Okay, so just kind of push them in on the center part again. Okay, so you can see that's nice and 3D. So the next thing you're going to do is you are going to lift your tin, and we might as well stick this in while we're here. And once the tin's closed in, it's closed for this project. So a couple of glue dots just around the edge of your DSP there. And again, that is just the Poinsettia Place DSP. So just a couple of your glue dots around that. I think the wet glue in there will take an awful long time to dry. and it just be slipping about the place until it is dry. So I'm just going to go with dimensionals equally, double-sided tape will do the same job. So just set that down in there, and you can see that there is a raised rim in there, so just kind of have a look at that. Okay, and just set it there. Make sure you've got it pushed all where you've got glue dots, just push it down into it. The next thing we're going to do is take some of this ribbon. It's out of the annual catalogue. It's the Whisper White and Silver one. So we are, oh sorry, it's 11 inches long. Sorry, I should have mentioned that. And you're just going to just check that it fits. Okay, and then we're going to put a little bit of double-sided tape on it. Double-sided tape is more than adequate to hold this. Do not use wet glue on it because it'll just seep through and you'll end up with a really sticky mess. So I'm just going to take that off because I don't want to be, that is only plastic, and if you kind of pressed into it you would actually warp it. So I'm just going to peel that off. Okay, just make sure it all lines up, and it's not really tight, but tight enough that it's going to be kind of secured. Okay. And then I'm going to reel that over to the side, and then I'm going to lift my punch circle and I'm going to tuck that in underneath like that. Okay, then I'm going to get my dimensionals and I'm going to stick them half on the ribbon and half onto the circle, and it's just to secure the two items together. Okay, then peel these off. And this is where your large poinsettia is going to get stuck down to now. Okay. Okay, and then just set that down onto it. And that is basically your topper done. So now you just need to decorate it, and that's by adding all your foliage. Now by you adding that to dimensionals, you've now created a little gap between the circle and the poinsettia, so it means then that you can use that to kind of stuff all your wee leaves down into it as well, and they'll be nice and secure down in there. So just lift this and make sure you're getting it in between the two layers. Okay, now don't worry about flattening that down. You can puff it all back up again when everything's in and stuck. So again, a wee bit of tombow, front and back. I'm just going to turn this. Again, I'm making sure I'm getting in between the two layers of the flower and the circle. Give it a good press to make sure. So just puff them up. Okay, and then your last part is really just to add in all these little bit. Now I find these stalks quite long, so I'm just going to snip those off. Just a little bit anyway. And with it being vellum and flocked, it might just take that wee bit longer for it to stick, but just be patient with it because I really do think it makes the project, it really does just finish it off. So lift that, press those in, again snip that. Now you don't have to snip it, I just don't want mine too long and like for to be this like big long stalk and then this kind of bushy bit at the end. So that is why I'm just making mine a bit smaller. And then this one I'm just going to have hanging down the front there. Again, you could maybe use a glue dot. I haven't actually tried the glue dot with these yet. So push that. Okay, so that is pretty much your tin complete nearly. I'm just going to add a glue dot for the center of the little pearl embellishment. I'm going to put it straight to this and then add the pearl embellishment because it means then I can see exactly where the glue dot's going. And that is it. Now this the ribbon complements the pearls perfectly because the pearls are encased in silver, which is ideal. Okay, and last but not least, we need a little tag for it. I am going to use the Banners Pick a Punch. This is one of the new punches in the seasonal catalogue as well. As you can see, it's brilliant. You've got 3 different sizes of 2 different designs. So I'm just going to run this through. This little strip of paper is 3/4 of an inch wide. by 4 inches, and that's just so that I have a bit of leeway to play with. So you can see there it gives you a nice neat banner edge. And I am going to punch my greeting in soft suede. So if I was you, I would do your banner end first before you put your greeting on, because it means then you can see how far down the banner you want that to go. And use your grid paper as well, just to make sure you've got it straight. Okay, let it dry for a wee second or two, especially on the Whisper White, because it does have that nice soft sheen on it. And then I am going to have a wee look at this while that's drying, because obviously there's too much on that, so I just know I need to cut a little bit off so that I can just nest that in underneath there. I'm just seeing if all the ink's dry. Curl it this way, and then from about the midway point, curl it the opposite way. And if I turn that sideways, you'll see it gives you that nice wave. Okay, so a little glue dot here. Maybe just want to take a wee bit more off. A little glue dot at this end, and a dimensional where that curl starts. So, and it just means then that it's raised. Or if you want to leave that part and you don't want it raised because you don't want to be able to see it, if you take the lid off, you can just leave it as it is. So I'll maybe do that, and we'll add a dimensional. But if you're wanting to really keep that curl, I would advise that you put a dimensional just at that curl, and then it keeps it in place, and it means it will not move about either on the tin. And you're just giving it that little last bit of security. Okay, so just in under here. Just trying to find the right position for my flowers. Okay, so there. That is that finished. So really pretty, and a really nice little token gift for someone, especially if you're a family and you maybe don't do big gifts anymore, but you just want to give a token for Christmas. Then these are ideal. You could fill it with your favorite coffee beans, your favorite tea bags, some homemade shortbread or homemade chocolate or fudge. They really are just a lovely little size for a token gift. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like this project, and you'll maybe have a go at making some yourself and gifting them to people. Thank you so much again. Take care. Bye.